The persecution of Christians by Islamic militants in Nigeria has been going on for years. Since 2009, it's estimated that over 50,000 Christians have been killed and over 20,000 churches destroyed by various Islamic groups in Nigeria. Now, the Biden administration removed Nigeria's status as a country of particular concern. President Trump has just redesignated Nigeria a country of particular concern, and has even suggested sending U.S. troops in to stop the violence. Joining me now with an update on all of this, as well as some new legislation he's proposing, Chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Africa Subcommittee, Congressman Chris Smith. Congressman, thank you for being here. As I just mentioned, President Trump announced that he is re-designating Nigeria as a country of particular concern. You've introduced a House resolution. Why is that needed now?
It is so important. I've been calling for years, and in his previous administration, Trump did designate Nigeria as a country of particular concern, and that carries with it not just the black mark of being so designated, but more importantly, it unleashes a whole series of sanctions that at the president's discretion can be imposed to try to mitigate the egregious behavior of a government like Nigeria. Unfortunately, under Anthony Blinken and Joe Biden, they revoked the CPC. As a matter of fact, Blinken even said shamelessly that the slaughter that's occurring has nothing to do with religion. I've never seen such an uninformed, false statement made in my 45 years as a member of Congress. It was blatantly false, and the Christians and the moderate Muslims who are also being killed couldn't believe that Biden and Blinken, his Secretary of State, had done so. So it is well received and long past due that President Trump has done what he's done, and we're so grateful for it.
And this resolution would do what? Just reinforce what he's proposed to show congressional buy-in?
And get the, originally I had one calling for it to be done. He has done it now. Now we're thanking him with this new resolution. And then, we're asking a number of things to happen. These sanctions, it's almost like our civil rights laws. If you don't net out sanctions, the colleges won't do anything for women's sports or whatever it might be. It's important to have that part of it. Now, if the Nigerian government rises to the occasion, and I know today, Secretary of State Rubio is talking to some very high-level people in Abuja, the capital of Nigeria, and the hope is that we get on the same page. During the Obama administration, there was an attempt, which he foiled, that would have aided them in tracking down the abuses and the abusers called Boko Haram. They just got rid of it. They said that the Leahy Amendment didn't allow it. So I held a hearing, talked about the Leahy Amendment, and sure enough, I asked the Undersecretary of State, and she said that half of all the Nigerian military could be so trained in counterinsurgency, and we might not have had the problem today had Obama not absconded on his responsibilities there as well. So now we have a president who gets it.
Last Friday, Fox News featured Congressman Riley Moore discussing this persecution of Christians in Nigeria. We had him on our show on Thursday, basically covering the same territory. The president was moved by that to order Secretary of War Pete Hegseth to, quote, prepare for possible action against Nigeria. Congressman, your thoughts on the possibility of U.S. military action. Is it warranted? Could the administration do that?
We will help them to do their counterinsurgency to stop, mitigate, and then stop this wanton slaughter of Christians. Right now, 100 churches a month are being destroyed. And I've been to many of those churches. I went with an Archbishop Kegama in Jos, which is in the northern part, where Boko Haram had firebombed at that point 5 of his churches. And it was just horrible to talk to these victims, the survivors who have lost family members. And of course, the Archbishop is one of the most valiant men I've ever met. And ditto for Bishop Anabe. We had him at our hearing in March, and he said, and I just very briefly, the militant Fulani herdsmen are terrorists. They steal and vandalize, they kill and boast about it, they kidnap and rape, and they enjoy total impunity from the elected officials. None of them have been arrested and brought to justice. So we're calling on the government of Nigeria and all of its counterparts at the state level to stop this slaughter. They have not done it. And the president has said, we're
No.
serious about it. And the sanctions that we can met out are very real and can have a very deleterious effect on that government.
Well, look, we're seeing reports and hearing reports on social media that Christians are being persecuted anew and killed in Sudan.
Yes.
We discussed this when you were last on the show, Congressman. We've been discussing this for years. What is now known about this escalation of killing in Sudan? Why is this happening now?
Well, it's escalating. There's two major warring parties. It's the ongoing hate fest that occurs in far too many parts of the world. In this case, it's in Sudan. I've been to Sudan many times, just like I've been to Nigeria many times and other places. And even the UN Secretary General has said this crisis is off the Richter scale in terms of how it is escalating. So there's much that has to be done there. I'm planning a hearing on it very shortly, but we need to use the leverage that we might have. Years ago, it looked like, and Senator Danforth did a great job in bringing people together to end much of the bloodshed. Remember Darfur? But now we have it resumed all again. And again, they're just slaughtering people and, for power. So we need to do more there as well. And of course, we have the same problem in DR Congo, although the president has gotten a tentative peace, but even there, the deadlines are being missed in terms of warring parties living up to their side of the agreements.
The government shutdown is just rolling along. 36 days in. This is the longest shutdown in American history, by the way. SNAP benefits continue to be threatened. Air traffic control staffing at crisis levels at airports across the country, and Thanksgiving's coming. Is there any end in sight? What do you see here?
Well, I hope, I voted to keep the government open. The Democrats did in the House, including all in my state. Same way with Schumer, 13, 14 times they've now have voted on the Senate side to just open it up. And, we would open it up and continue a Biden budget. I mean, I find that amazing that they won't even go along with that to keep these essential services like SNAP flowing to needy Americans. I just hope the American people see through what the Democrats are doing here. It's unconscionable. This is a blunt instrument of the worst kind, and it's being used against those least able to afford it. We've voted to keep the government open as Republicans. They haven't.
Congressman Chris Smith, as always, we will leave it there, but I thank you for your time, your perspective. We'll check in soon.
Thank you, Raymond.